me into Chaos, Chaos55T here, and thanks to all these videos, they have enabled me to do a video on this topic as well, fake artists. Now, if any of you guys have been dubbed a fake artist, here's my interpretation on what it really is. So if you're labeled as how I see a real fake artist, don't be offended. If you are, then go in the corner of shame and think of what you've done.
Now, to become an artist, you have to be very, very professional. You have to draw like Picasso and Mozart the second you are born. Any mistakes and you'll be sentenced to the lion's chamber.
I'm kidding, that's not what a real artist is. Just look up the definition on frickin' Google. A person who produces paintings or drawings such as a profession or hobby. A person who practices any of the variations of creative arts, such as sculptor, novelist, poet, or filmmaker. A person skilled at a particular task or occupation. Do I see anywhere in these definitions that you have to be a professional in order to be an artist? No! We live around a media that judges how an artist should be. And a lot of us don't want to go down that path. To be traditional, to be just like the big guns back in the old days. We want to be ourselves. We want to be different. And here's where the stereotype of fake artists come in. The people who have been dubbed as fake artists are basers, tracers, decent to less artists, and people who even heavily reference off of other people's art. And even at one point, digital artists! Back when I was using another account, there was literally a couple users who say you are not a real artist if you use digital art. I can name two off the top of my head. YoshiWe1 and fucking Kristen Weston Chandler. And their most common excuses of why they say digital art is not real art is because of that shift key that helps make straight lines. And, hear me out on this one, you're not putting actual character into the art. It's not unique because it's digital. It needs to be, you need to feel it with your fingertips. You need to smell it with your nose. Are you guys starting to get the point? The next one that I will also be talking about is the heavily referenced. There are characters that heavily reference another character. There's no originality. I'm not saying like you can't be original. You get my point. Here's a quick presentation as of why I think it's a bad idea to scold someone for making a heavily referenced art. Take, for example, the swap stands design I created. Check it out. It looks different from the original design of a swap sands. I wasn't going for the Royal Guard look like the usual swap sands would. I actually went for a different theme, a magical boy. This is the design I used and heavily referenced from. Now before you guys go on a witch hunting spree, hear me out. As I said before, there's no such thing as an original. Mostly because there are differences and variations to different pieces of artwork. As you can obviously tell, I basically used the chest plate, the arm pads, and the pants. Only for one reason and one reason alone, because it would actually fit the Magical Boy theme on my swap sands. The rest of the design, as you can see, is very different. And the one thing I hate, this is still labeled around references, by the way, is when you create your actual own design, like you didn't look up any references at all, but people would say that you referenced off of something and asks for you to credit. Yes, it can be your own original idea, and the originality doesn't need to be like, oh, I created this, so you need to bow before me, I created this, no one else did. No. Originality just refers to that you created it off the top of your head. A reference is something that you looked at and drew it to your own design. Do you see my point on this one? Now for the decent to less artists. Now the reason why I call it decent to less is because most of the time it's either a shitpost or something that they sincerely want to try. I am not calling them fake artists because either they are starting out or are still trying to learn. Yes, some may say, no criticism, but that will not stop them from trying to practice, trying to improve. Some that don't improve and fall behind, Christian, those can be still labeled as artists, I'm afraid. If they can draw, it's art. I am now going to defend tracers and basers. there's actually a reason of why I'm defending them, and it's thanks to Raito Komori. He is not a tracer nor a baser, but he actually does know the reason why they do it. It's mostly because they are either trying to learn a style of their own, or it's something that was made to help other artists find their calling. And another reason why I defend them is because I was once one of them. This is what I drew when I was 11. Yes, it was bad. Yes, it was used on a base. But over time, here are some other images that I also used on bases, and then I slowly crept out of it and found my own style. Now, I am not saying to stop scolding people who use bases. I'm not saying to continue to harass them. I'm just saying there is a time and place where they need to start to grow out instead of staying in their comfort zone like I did. You need to give them a gentle push in the right direction. If they're stubborn, yes, you can continue to try to push them in that direction that they need to go to become better artists. But there will be no such thing as a fake artist for all these people. The true meaning of what we should be using fake artists for are art thieves. It makes a lot of sense. They take what's not theirs, they either slightly manipulate it to make it look like it's no longer the original artist's, and they try to make a profit off of it, or not give credit in the slightest, or just try to credit themselves for something they didn't make. Yes, this is what we should be calling fake artists, not the people who do not deserve to be called these. If there's anything I'm missing out, please comment in the description below. You could tell me what you believe a fake artist is, and you can tell me what you believe a not fake artist is, but is still labeled as such. This is Chaos55T here, signing out. Also, sorry for not getting to this sooner, I keep forgetting. Fan art for this video. If you would like to submit your fan art, please go into the description below and post your artwork on these social medias and try to make sure you mention me so that I can be able to see it. Good?